Hello, very warm greetings. I'm Dr. Shuchin Bajaj, the founder and director of Cygnus Hospitals, and I'm based out of Gurgaon. We have hospitals spread out across the smaller towns of Haryana, Punjab, and also some districts of Delhi. I feel it's very unfortunate that even after 70 years of independence, we have some of the worst healthcare indicators in the world. If you consider just the women and treat them as a separate country, we will have almost the bottom indicators compared to even the sub-Saharan countries and even countries that are coming out of various conflicts. We will have worse healthcare indicators than even those countries if just the women of our country is treated as a separate world. We are committed to providing and achieving the SDGs, but we have to keep in mind that the SDGs started off with a commitment to end poverty everywhere permanently. And also, the number five SDG is gender equality. As I already said, the women are in a very bad state, and almost 30 million people are pushed below the poverty line every year just due to healthcare costs. So, if we don't focus on these things and not ensure that the out of pocket expenses are taken care of, if we don't ensure that everyone has healthcare, universal insurance, if we don't ensure that the women and the children are taken care of, then I don't think we'll be able to achieve a fast growing economy. An unhealthy economy can never be a fast growing economy. So we have to go into the rural masses, we have to take care of the healthcare needs of the people in the smaller towns. We are a big country of dichotomies. So whereas we're on the one hand we have people going, we have probes going to the Mars at the lowest cost. We, on the other hand, we have very low facilities for the urban slums and the teeming populations. Same with the healthcare services. We have one of the finest tertiary and quaternary healthcare facilities available in the bigger towns. But as soon as we move out of their boundaries in the smaller towns and in the villages, the healthcare facilities are almost nothing to speak of. Everyone has to come to the bigger towns to access these healthcare facilities. So I think the government's agenda should focus on how we can spread out this pie amongst all our populations. I was recently at King's College London on a fellowship provided by the British Foreign and Commonwealth Office that's called the Chevening Gurukul Fellowship. That's their flagship fellowship that the British government offers. And every year 12 people are selected from India to go to this fully paid, fully residential intensive fellowship at King's College London. And it provided me a great insight into the workings and the facilities available there. My thesis was based on the national health system and how we can learn from the national health system on treating two of our main diseases, that's diabetes and hypertension. And I got to visit and interview and talk to a lot of doctors and the top officials of the NHS, which was very enlightening for me. There was a lot of hope, and I feel that, in spite of the fact that India is lagging behind, what I saw there gave me a lot of hope that a lot of things can be achieved. For example, if you consider the case of diabetes and hypertension and COPD, the main NCDs that are plaguing us here, more than 85% of these conditions are managed at the primary level at the NHS. And this was not the case just 30 years back. In the late 80s, almost the early 90s also, less than 15% of these patients were being managed at the primary level, and most of them had to suffer at least one episode of hospitalization every year. But with the massive concentration on preventive practices, on the primary care, on promoting GPs instead of consultants as a conscious policy by the British government, they have taken this number to 85%, and now most of them don't need to visit the hospital at all. They are managed at the primary level. And I feel we are at that stage which Britain was in the 80s. Most of the people rush to the hospital even for getting treatment for a cough or a cold. So I feel if we can promote the primary healthcare, if we can promote the GPs, if we can ensure their education, then I'm sure we can achieve these numbers as well. So I think the British government has laid a lot of emphasis on providing education and status to the GPs. The salary of the GPs there is sometimes more than even consultants, or at least equal to it. The GPs have much more respect. The nurse practitioners are encouraged a lot. So if we can also ensure some of this, if we can upgrade and upskill our Ayush doctors, if we can just make sure that the ASHA workers, who are almost 1 million in number, they can just visit the schools and just educate our girls on how to take care of their health, how to take care of their nutrition, we can take care of all these incidents of high IMR, high MMR, and we can achieve a lot of numbers if we just focus on the general practitioners and the family physicians and the preventive part of healthcare rather than focusing on the tertiary and the quaternary healthcares. I was asked a question which I still remember. What would you like? Would you like not to have a heart attack, or would you like your heart attack to be managed really well by a very good hospital? So I think the answer is very clear. I would rather not have a heart attack than go to the best possible hospital to get my angioplasty done. And if the government and all of us focus on that, on people preventing their diseases, I'm sure we can replicate a lot of good things. We have 11 hospitals in the smaller towns of North India. We are in Haryana and Punjab mostly. And we focus on providing emergency healthcare in the conditions in which the golden hour is of great importance. Like I said, very unfortunately, even after 70 years of independence, these towns like Sonipat, Panipat, Karnal, Tohana don't have even the basic facilities. If you're unfortunate enough to have a heart attack or unfortunate enough to have a neurotrauma, you have no option but to rush to the nearest big city, be it Delhi or Chandigarh. Even ambulances are not available, so you usually hire a jeep and just get to the bigger cities. So in our hospitals, in addition to offering these super specialty tertiary and quaternary services, now we are opening telemedicine clinics, we are opening preventive check clinics, we are going to the even smaller villages and kasbas around our hospital to give this diabetes education and hypertension education, how to manage your NCDs, a lot after the learnings from the NHS that I got. My final message would be to the healthcare entrepreneurs and the young doctors coming out of our education system now. I hope that you will also now spread out across from the big cities to the smaller towns. The weather there is much better, there is no pollution, the climate is nice, people are friendly, and there's no dearth of respect and as well as money if you want to go into the smaller towns and serve the community. I think the real need is there, and all of us should step out of our comfort zones. We can't just keep blaming the government for not doing anything. It is up to all of us to go out and see where the real need of the community is. Thank you very much. Thank you.